What's up, LEGO builders? Welcome back to Coconut's Kingdom. I've been presented with a unique opportunity. I'm about to embark on a trip to Italy, and I can't think of a better way to spend my time in that historic place than building a World War II Moc. But the challenge here isn't just building related. I need to carefully plan out what pieces I'm going to take and how many, because I've got limited space, and if I grab the wrong parts, this Moc could end up looking like a birthday party where someone forgot the cake and presents. Bruh. But I'm leaving tomorrow, and I still need to pack my bag, so don't forget to open fire on that like button, and let's get started. Probably the hardest part of this challenge is going to be picking the pieces. I have a plethora of Lego bricks at my disposal. However, I'm flying to Italy, and so space is going to be limited, and my Mary Poppins bag that has limited space is currently at the dry cleaners, so I'm going to have to make everything fit in that. That being said, I know this is going to be some kind of like countryside nature Moc, so we're going to take some plants with us. Got to have some plates for the terrain. Some tree pieces, probably got to have some kind of structure in there. Things are going to be a little tricky in the minifig department because this is my current collection of Italian soldiers. And I have as many Italian tanks as I did girlfriends in high school, but thankfully there were German Panzer divisions in Italy, so I'm going to be using this beautiful Panzer IV. And as the cherry on top, I've got this unbuilt M18 Hellcat that I've been waiting to build for months now. Just needed the right opportunity, and what better way to spend my time nestled among the Italian hills than building a tank destroyer. Unfortunately, my bag's a little full, but who needs clothes when you got Lego? And I am ready to go. All right, I made it to Italy. The pieces arrived. I didn't really have to worry about anything breaking because the only thing built was the tank, and it was securely packed in there and partially disassembled. But got everything here ready to go. It's all jumbled. Unfortunately, I don't get to build like I normally do with all my nice organized pieces. So I'll probably take a second before I like dive into the building and then start, just get everything organized so I can have a smooth building process. Got some pieces for the frame, and look at this. I mean, could you ask for better inspiration for building a Moc? I mean, look at this. I'm really excited because there are these cypress trees that are very unique and iconic to Italy, and I'm going to attempt building a few. Having built Mocs using sorted pieces for so many years now, I don't know how young Ethan was able to build what he did just rummaging through huge bins of bulk Lego. I had to get everything somewhat organized here before feeling ready to start building, but I guess in those days I didn't really have to worry about time lapses or video production or even color coordination, so I could just take as long as I wanted. And the builds were a lot more colorful. I started by assembling the frame. I built one out of black pieces because I knew this was going to be a fairly simple Moc, so I wanted to spice it up with a better looking frame. After that, it was time to lay the foundations. I'm going to build everything on a bed of dark tan plate since it felt like a pretty good neutral color to work on. That way, if any of it ends up being exposed, it'll just look like dirt. I added some wedge plates to the edges to round everything off and better match up with the frame. While planning the build, I knew this was going to have to be pretty basic considering how limited I would be on parts. I briefly considered doing some kind of small Italian house, but was afraid I would start building and then not have nearly enough pieces to make a proper structure, and I really want my first out-of-the-country build to turn out good, and most importantly, fully complete. So I opted for a country road with a stone wall guarding one side, keeping the Italian countryside at bay. For height, I brought some pieces to build the iconic cypress trees, which are a shape that I've been wanting to build for quite some time now in tree form. The scene was originally just going to be an M18 Hellcat cruising along the road, but that quickly expanded into a potential tank battle or ambush. I've found when it comes to tanks, I have a hard time limiting myself to just one. I'm feeling good about this build so far though. I've been in Italy for a few days now, and I feel like I picked the right color palette. It's got a good Mediterranean vibe. If you could go visit one place and build a Moc there, where would you pick? Let me know in the comments. The trees were the last thing to go in, and now I can add the tanks. I played around with a smoke design to make one of them look battle damaged, then placed its banged up crew marching away from their burning tank. Caught on a back road deep in the Italian countryside, this unlucky Panzer drove straight into the sights of an M18 Hellcat on the prowl. One shot to the rear knocked out the tank's engine, rendering it useless as smoke billows up into the air. The surviving crewmen stagger out into the bright sunlight, surrendering themselves as prisoners of war under the watchful eye of the American tank destroyer crew. I wasn't sure what to expect building a Moc so far from home and my collection of parts, but I must say, I had a lot of fun. I really planned out what I wanted the build to look like before leaving, so part selection wasn't an issue, although there were a couple spots in the road where I had to substitute in dark tan after running out of the right dark orange pieces. The backdrop looks really good, and after spending some time walking around in Italy, I think I was able to capture the right aesthetic and design. There's so many earth tones here, and that road just fits right in. The stone wall was kind of an afterthought. Just a simple build to add some kind of a structure to the Moc, but it provides a great dividing line between the neat road and the wild foliage growing up against its walls on the other side. The trees are alright. I was able to recreate the conical look, but they're not very realistic looking and a little blocky, so I definitely want to take them back to the US and continue to improve on the design. The M18 is really cool, and now I'm even more excited to build the Battle of Arracore later this year, which had a couple platoons of Hellcats taking on German Panther and Tiger tanks in a forest. Fun fact, the M18 Hellcat had the best kill to loss ratio of any US tank or tank destroyer during World War II, with approximately 8 kills to every 1 loss, making it one of the most successful US fighting vehicles of the war. All things considered, I would say this Moc challenge was a resounding success. But I want to hear what you think of the build down below in the comments, and until next time, happy building.